So, John, if you unlocked the full 100% potential of your brain, how would your life change?
What do you mean if? This is it. This is perfection, baby. This is as far as it goes.
Really?
You're looking at it, yeah.
Okay, so you've got all the powers of Scarlet Johansson, you can change your hairstyle and everything, and you're still keeping that.
Yeah, this is the choice I've made, yeah. I am above aesthetics. I'm beyond aesthetics at this point.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. But really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Welcome everybody to Beyond the Box Set, the podcast where today we are going to pitch prequels, sequels and spin-offs to Lucy. We'll also be pitching some drinking games and hearing from our listeners with the submissions that they've posted on our social media platforms. But first, we're going to talk about some of our favourite bits from the movie and give a bit of a plot summary. I'm Harry, the host with the most GCSEs.
I mean, that's not true.
Oh, that's
not?
a claim, yeah.
I have more than you, don't I?
How many do you-
11.
I've got 12, 8 Bs, 3 Cs and a D. Screw
Okay.
you.
How do you, I don't, let's get, this is too, this, we'll take that off mic, that's boring. But well, mine are all C and above, so
Well, my D was in Welsh, so who cares? I'm joined today by Joe and Jonah, the guests with the best chemistry on this podcast.
Oh, it's very school related.
It's very school.
Not deliberately. Well, it really is. And joining me as always, the co-host who still believes that humans only use 10% of their brains. And in his case, maybe it is actually true. It's John Lucas.
what we don't?
No.
Or is that like an urban myth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
This whole movie is built on a lie.
Oh yeah, this film is wildly
Okay, I need to change.
awful.
I need to change everything.
Sorry, I lost my words there. I mean, I'm not 100% right now, but inaccurate. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, to be fair, when I watched this for the first time,
I
I thought
don't
it was
watch
true.
worse films, but
Oh dear, are you quite gutted about that?
I just feel like everything I believe in is a lie now. There's so many open things up to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So who wants to talk first? Joe and Jonah. Where are you guys from?
Oh, okay.
Why are you in my flat? Get out! The police are on their way.
this isn't my home.
We're from the same place because
We
we're
are
brothers.
brothers,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So very much from the same place.
very much from the same place. Yeah, really could go all the way back.
Yeah, share the same womb and
Are you twins?
no,
No.
I didn't know at the same time. But
Twins? You weren't twins at the same time. So what does that mean? You were
no,
both
we didn't
twins?
share. This sounds so bad. We didn't share the same womb at the same time, but it was the same vicinity.
The oldest one left the door open. Sorry.
Oh dear, this podcast got a rough start.
This is a conversation I've never had in my life before.
Probably because we were supposed to.
So we're from the podcast How to Survive Your Twenties, if that's what you were referring
That
to.
was the question. Yeah, definitely.
I did think it was a bit weird, like, so where are you from? like we're on a date or something.
What's your name? You're everybody's still a black. What's your name and where'd you come from? That's a reference to people who aren't in their 20s, clearly.
So we're from the podcast How to Survive Your Twenties.
Yeah, what is it?
It's a podcast all about how to survive your 20s. We just talk about all the kind of relatable things about just getting through life, all the ups and downs, and just have a big laugh as well.
Mm-hmm.
And not too much to it.
Yeah, and we met you guys, or we met you specifically, Joe, don't we?
Yes.
No.
At Pods Up North, the podcast
We did, yeah.
convention that we went to last November, where we also met Ant McGinley, who was on our recent episode on Escape to Victory.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a very valuable trip so far. Made some good friends. And,
Yeah.
so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you
Good
for
to
having us.
Yeah, good to be here.
Why did you bring this film then?
Well, what film had you brought first? You already said that.
Everybody knows.
Okay.
It's also in the episode title.
All right,
Everybody
fine.
knows.
You can see why he thinks that humans only use 10% of their brain. Okay?
I think I'm down to 5. Dropping.
So I really like reviewing bad films, like bad action films, because I just think they're funny. I think they're funny to watch. Now,
And so is this a bad film?
in my opinion, yeah.
Wow,
I
that's awful.
Okay, thank God. Because
Yeah, so I suggested I went through Netflix.
Because when guests come on, you never know.
Oh, that's true.
You never know.
That's a good point.
They might have picked their favourite film and you think it's really bad.
I think I did put on the message like, here are a bunch of like bad action films, because I gave like a few suggestions. I went through Netflix. Netflix is the perfect place for bad action films. Like, yeah, and
bad films in general.
Well, yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah, not just bad action films, but I think it's really fun to watch bad action films with friends, just so you can rip it apart, because they're obviously ridiculous, and when they take themselves seriously, that's when it's the most fun.
Yeah.
So there's a few, but I remember watching Lucy and just being really, really unimpressed and like, this is ridiculous. Like,
I remember that too.
Yeah,
Did you both watch it in the cinema or?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out.
Yeah.
But you like it, don't you, Jonah?
No, I don't.
Oh, now he rejects.
No, it's not like, but I don't think it's that bad.
You know what? I'm going to take your side on this. I mean, obviously,
Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! I'm so scared.
obviously, I misunderstood this film because I thought it was a documentary.
Rated by Morgan Freeman, yes.
You see how I got confused. But I found this film to be like entertaining. Like, it was ludicrous, but in a way that I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah, like I'm not going to put down like best film ever, but it's like I don't think it's like horrendously bad. Like,
No.
it's just like and on for 2 hours. Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, good time.
This film was a roller coaster ride,
Yeah.
which I really appreciate. It was like
from start to finish.
Yeah, it was. I felt like I had whiplash watching this film because they packed so much into such a short amount of time. It's like, I guess she's a drug mule in Taipei. Okay, sure. Oh wait, now there's dinosaurs. What, monkeys? What's going on? Like,
Did they pack a lot in, or is it just like a bit of setup where there's plot of like she's a drug mule or whatever, and then suddenly now her brain's just growing. This is already unrelatable, and then like there's dinosaurs now. The Big Bang.
I just love it. I think because it's directed by Luc Besson, who also did The Fifth Element, and
exactly.
I really obviously this is not quite up there with The Fifth Element, but like I love his films. They're always like a huge swing. You know, they've always got loads of crazy stuff. There's always like a crazy like action chick with weird hair. Like she's definitely doing the Mila Jovovich kind of thing. I think just because it's a swing and a miss doesn't mean I don't appreciate the ride. I'd rather see a film that like reaches for something and doesn't quite get there than a film that's just like meh. You know, that just kind of like
meh is the worst.
Average,
Definitely, yeah.
Are you one of Emily's friends? This sounds like one of her silly jokes. Is she there with you?
No, I'm on my own.
Who are you?
I just told you.
Lucy, right? Yes. Sorry.
I read your theory on the use of the brain's capacity. It's a little rudimentary, but you're on the right track.
Thank you.
Professor, my cells are reproducing at a phenomenal speed, several million per second. I'm having trouble precisely evaluating the time of my death, but I doubt it'll last more than 24 hours.
What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is that your theory is not a theory. I absorbed a large quantity of synthetic CPH4 that will allow me to use 100% of my cerebral capacity. Right now I'm at 28%. And what you wrote is true. Once the brain reaches 20%, it opens up and expands the rest. There are no more obstacles. They fall away like dominoes. I'm colonizing my own brain.
Okay, so now we do a plot summary. I think we've
Great.
talked about the film a little bit. Who wants to... One of you two. Who wants to go?
You do it.
You can do it together.
Yeah, we can do it together. Oh, okay. So,
You've written something.
yeah, I have a terrible memory. Yeah. Okay, so starts off, all right, okay, and you see it starts off with evolution, okay, and you see, I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
It's a very conceptual opening. Yeah, it's like the whole universe in the opening. Exactly. Is like weird action film.
And it's Morgan Freeman narrating at the start. Yeah. So it automatically you think, oh, this is serious.
It's a good start.
This is a good start. Yeah.
Reminded me of 2001: Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey. Oh yes.
Kind of starting off like here's monkeys and caveman times.
Has anyone seen a film called Tree of Life with Brad Pitt?
Oh no.
It is boring. It's like 4 hours long.
I've heard that quite consistently.
Yeah, I've heard
it is
I
very much very similar to this. It's got this very like portentous opening about like dinosaurs and volcanoes and evolution, and then
Can I just say, John?
Yeah.
Veto.
No. It's
that one is on the list.
Sure. Okay. Fine. We will never do Tree of Life. It's got its moments, but when I saw the beginning of this and it had the similar opening, I was like, oh no. But then I was like, oh look, it's only 90 minutes. It's fine. It's not going to drag on with this way. So,
yeah.
That's like the first half hour of Tree of Life. And then it becomes this family thing. It doesn't matter. It's boring. Continue. So dinosaurs.
So yeah, evolution, and you see like a cave woman. I don't know what the Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is supposedly the first ever woman, but I did a fact check, and it's definitely not, because this wasn't actually a first ever person that we could call a person.
Sure.
So anyway, yeah. So that's the first thing this film got wrong.
I mean, I think that what they implied by that, because you later see that the body of that person in a museum.
Yes.
So I think it could
Well,
be
it's not the actual body.
It's the oldest body, or maybe like the oldest body recreation or something of a specific being. I'm just trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, this is a specific animal that we named Lucy, and it's a woman. It's the first evidence of a woman.
A woman, right? Okay. Fair enough.
And she's called Lucy, as is Scarlett Johansson.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well. No, Scarlett Johansson's character is called something else, isn't it?
Is she not called Lucy?
Oh,
I'm gonna look it up. Carry on.
yeah, I know. Oh, no, I think you're right, actually. No, I think she changes her name because before she goes into the building, the guy tells her about Lucy, the first ever woman.
Yeah, I thought that was like a chat-up line kind of thing.
Well, I don't know how many people you chat up, but I've never done that. Hey,
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Not many people called Lucy, but
yeah, well, only people called Lucy. No, you're right.
Now, of all the bios here, it does say Lucy at the very start when she's a drug dealer.
Oh right, okay. Oh well, there you go. I've lost that battle, but fair enough. I shall win the war. Anyway, so that's where it starts off. And you've got Morgan Freeman in the background, and he's kind of giving his spiel about life and so on. And then in this spiel, it kind of refers to human life and what it is now, and it's like panning over Taiwan, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they're in Taiwan, yeah.
Taiwan, yeah, exactly. And, busy traffic and so on and so on. And then anyway, it cuts to Scarlett Johansson's character, whatever her name may be. Probably, most likely Lucy, I'm very much wrong. And she's talking with this guy who's in a big cowboy hat.
It's Euron Greyjoy from Game of Thrones.
See, I don't watch Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I was so close. For some reason, I thought it was Alfie Allen. Then looked it up. Oh no, it's not him. It's some guy I didn't recognise.
Well,
I was on the right show. God damn.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
He was also in that Danish show Borgen. If you ever saw that,
No.
Yeah. It's him in a weird costume anyway. So.
Right. Yes. Anyway, so he's got a cowboy hat.
Yeah, this weird like neon cowboy hat. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like I don't know what his specific job title is, but he's like a deliverer for like obviously dodgy stuff.
Drug dealer.
Like yeah.
Or a mule maybe.
Mule, yeah. But so he's got to deliver this package, but if for some reason he's in trouble with the people he's delivering the package to.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to do it directly, and he is dating at this time Scarlett Johansson. Mm-hmm. We'll call her Lucy. For
argument's sake.
We'll call so Lucy. He's dating Lucy, and like they've clearly just been out the night before. Mm-hmm. She's hungover. She's got to go back and study or whatever. Anyway, he tries to persuade her to do it. She just refuses to, and so he, as any good boyfriend does, handcuffs the case to her and says, "Well, you're kind of stuck now. You have to do it." So she goes in, and she asks for Mr. Jang. And she says, I've got a package for him. Anyway, so the guy at reception starts speaking Mandarin for some reason. That's what it said in my subtitles. Although
I didn't turn subtitles on until the last third of the film. I was like, are we supposed to know? Because like she doesn't speak this language, and I'm pretty sure I know what's going on here.
Yeah, I didn't, so I might have missed some things.
Well, it says Mandarin, but they're in Taiwan. Oh, that is Chinese speaking, isn't it?
Yeah, they speak Mandarin.
Yeah, anyway, well, there you go. Shut up, Joe. That's wow. That's the second battle I've lost.
I feel like all our collective percentages of relativity, they're going down as the episode goes on.
There's four of us, but collectively we don't even have 100% anyway. So.
Anyway, so they call up for Mr. Jang. Lucy's told to wait in reception. Things start to get tense as like these big kind of burly men come in suits, and then the boyfriend is shot, and you see this blood that
very
looks
abruptly.
Yeah, it looks an awfully lot like Vimto. I thought it was very kind of like it was kind of very purpley red. So he was shot, and then so Lucy obviously starts to panic, and she's dragged up.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, come on, get over it. So she's dragged up to the top tower where she meets Mr. Jang, and she's panicking, and nobody speaks English, and so they get a translator on the phone, and they're translating and she's panicking. And then they're worried about what's in the package, so they think it's a bomb. So they...
This scene did make me laugh, sorry. So they're in this bedroom, hotel room, and like she's still chained to the suitcase, and all of the gangsters like open the package, and then they all just bring out these giant like police guards and like step way back, please hide him in the wall. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but it tickled me.
I don't think that's what they were going for.
Okay, I laughed.
Yeah. They were clearly very ready, though, because they did have these big shields and stuff. And then, so they give her a code. She opens it, and inside is just this like blue powder, like
blue meth from Breaking Bad. Essentially, it looks like.
Well, there you go.
Walter White special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's this blue meth thing, or these blue drugs, and she shows them, and then they're like, "Oh, okay." And so then what they do is just, as gentlemen would do, knocks her out. Yeah. And then you
straight in the face.
And then you jump to Morgan Freeman again, I believe. At this point you kind of keep jumping back and forth, don't you?
Morgan Freeman playing the role of Professor Exposition.
Yes, of course.
He's purely here to exposition.
Yes. What I liked about those scenes is when Morgan Freeman was doing his lecture, this is supposed to be like really, really advanced academia. Like, if you looked in the slides behind him, it was full of like information and diagrams and stuff.
It was bullshit. It was great because like he starts saying, okay, so 10%, that's whatever, sure. But at 20%, suddenly, like telepathy and stuff like that.
Obviously,
that's possible. And like, and he's just saying it so factually. It's like, this is fact, this is fact, this is fact. And then somebody says, well, what about 100%? It's like, well, I have no idea. Like, there's
don't be ridiculous. Come on.
There's no way of knowing.
Well, that's just science fiction. Yeah, well, what I liked about it was because I've been in lectures before, and I did some linguistics at university, and I was like blown away with that. There's like so much to know, and I was just thinking this is like really advanced stuff, and he's just like, life is important. I was like, this is really easy to follow.
I'm so smart.
Anyway, so jump it back and forth, and then Lucy eventually wakes up, and she meets a British guy. I thought you were going to say something about the British actor.
Oh, no, I mean, I was waiting to let you finish, but I mean,
Okay,
I was disappointed we didn't see more of him, because there's nothing I love. If you listen to our Skyscraper episode, there's nothing I love more than a generic British villain in an action movie, and he was very much playing that role, but then he just disappeared.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he could come back in the sequel.
He might come back in the sequel.
There you go, and so at this point, we discover that they performed surgery on her, and they put these drugs, the drugs that... You don't like this bit,
I hate surgical scenes, and it makes my belly feel bad just thinking of being put inside me. I hate it. Carry on, John.
Do you need a moment?
Just pass it on the floor. Yeah, it's fine.
And so they'd put the drugs inside her, along with 3 other candidates, so to speak. I always do the air quotations.
Yeah, they don't read on a podcast.
3 other candidates, and the plan was to get them to go home wherever they are, and then people would meet them, open them up again, and then they disperse the drugs.
I'm just going to stop you there. Where in their bodies did they put these bags of drugs?
Good point. In the or like around the stomachs, like.
Well, the terminology they used in the film that cracked me up was, "It's in your lower tummy." So he said multiple times, "We have put the British guy said we've put the drugs in your lower tummy."
The lower tummy.
Yeah, not full tummy, just lower tummy.
Is that the pudding stomach?
The pudding. Yeah, man. Do you have pudding stomach?
Old chapels have a pudding stomach.
Sure.
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
Oh dear.
What did you do to my stomach?
Nothing. Just a little horizontal slit. It's very well done. And, you'll find within a month the scar is practically invisible, so you'll be able to show your tummy off on the beach next summer.
I don't care about the scar.
Is it why we opened you up? Yeah? Rest assured, we didn't harvest your organs or anything. We merely slipped a little package into your lower tummy. It's a new drug that kids in Europe are going to love, believe me.
What is it?
Well, the scientific term is CPH4, which is not very sexy from a sales point of view. So we're still working on something with a bit more pop. Any suggestions?
Yes, they give her the tickets and passports to go home, and they're taken away into this like prison thing before they're put on the plane. And Scarlett Johansson's character is obviously very distraught and panicked and stuff, and she's in this room, and there are two other guards, and one of them tries to sexually harass her, and she tries to kind of knock it back, and the one of the guards gets really angry.
What was this prison, by the way?
Yeah, this is where I was like, did I miss a scene?
Oh, it's not a prison, but she's locked in a room.
Yeah, but so what
It
was
felt like
it?
wasn't
where
in the
was the
hotel,
prison?
Yeah, the hotel.
Oh, right. I thought you were asking me. I was like, I don't know.
Well, we kind of are asking you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because like she was supposed to get on a flight to go back to somewhere, I don't know, America maybe.
America, yeah.
And then I seemed to get picked up, and then somebody was just going to take the drugs out of her stomach. But then suddenly she's in this holding cell and getting raped.
Yeah, I really genuinely... This happened a lot in this movie because it goes by so quickly. I thought I'd missed a scene. Like I thought like the copy I'd acquired had skipped something. I was like, what, why is she here? I was very confused. It wasn't an airport and it wasn't a hotel. Like,
That's
why was
true,
she
yeah.
suddenly just in this dingy basement?
It felt like the nature of the drugs, like you'd monitor very closely who interacts with her.
Yeah, that's true.
If they're
actually.
worth that much, surely at least tell the guards, look, whatever you do, don't boot her multiple times in the stomach.
In the lower tummy.
In the lower tummy. Just go easy on the lower tummy, guys. It's a bit vulnerable right now.
It's a no-go. Well, that's what happens. So he gets angry, and she gets punched on the hit. Like she lies on the floor, and she kicks him in the stomach.
He kicks her in the stomach, sorry.
Is that that's not what I said? Is it? He kicks her in the lower tummy.
Yes.
Ooh, my lower tummy. And then you see the drugs kind of like break the seal, and then they start to like enter her bloodstream. Anyway, so after that, after he's done beating her in the lower tummy, he's like, oh, she's had enough, and he walks off. And then she wakes up on the wall.
She's like doing having a seizure on the roof.
She has this huge seizure, This is when the movie really like went from 0 to 60 for me. So at the start,
That was the thing. I was semi-enjoying the film up until this moment. That's when
I enjoyed it more at this point. Like,
This is when it gets good.
Yeah, I think I was enjoying it before this as well, because before this is when it's easy to pick out the errors of just like, that's not how the brain works, and stuff like that. And then this, it's like, all right, now it's just, like I said before, it's not relatable anymore.
Well,
like, it's just getting a bit
so
ridiculous.
you could relate to everything that happens to this girl up until this point.
Well, no,
Because when I was in Taiwan,
Someone sewed up my lower tummy.
but no,
I can see the scar now.
I think they're all realistic things that I can at least understand.
Sure,
When
you
suddenly
might get caught up
When
in
suddenly
it.
she's rolling about on a ceiling because like some drugs exploded in her stomach.
Yeah, sure.
It felt a bit weird.
She's flying about this room, like being bashed back and forth on the... There's a point where she's on the ceiling, and she seems to be being electrocuted. But it's, and you can see like the sparks and the lightning going through it, but it's just a little halogen light. It's just a little, like your standard halogen, like you could grab that any time.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just like an energy saving light bulb. How's it doing this to you? Like,
Just a quick pause there. Is it not pronounced halogen, or have I been wrong this whole time instead of halogen?
Could not tell you.
I think I've heard halogen, not halogen, but...
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
you say tomato, I say tomato. It's just,
But yeah, it was a bit of a weird scene.
It was.
Yeah, because it was
I
very
remember-
like exorcism. It was very.
It
like,
did suddenly become The Exorcist. I did
Yeah.
feel that too. Definitely got
It
those
also
vibes,
reminded me of the fight scene in Inception.
Oh yeah, in the corridor.
hotel,
But
yeah.
that's believable because you're in a dream.
Yeah.
Whereas like at this point when I watched Lucy, when I first saw it, I too was a believer that you only use 10% of your brain. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is cool. She'll get like some kind of power. It's like, yeah, okay, telekinesis. I can get on board with that. But defying gravity, that's where I'm a bit like.
Well, I mean, telekinesis and defying
She's
gravity.
using
Like,
that's
she,
true.
She, she's using
You're
air
right.
pressures and stuff.
That's
Maybe
true,
who knows?
yeah,
But also,
yeah.
she's not in control of it.
No.
Well, one thing that I did notice, a bit of an error in this scene, but I love finding errors in bad movies. It's the best. When she's rolling about, and like, obviously, I know that the way they would have done it, they'll have built a set, rotated it 90 degrees with everything like nailed to the floor and stuff.
What? Sorry, just crushing all my illusions at this time.
And she's supposed to be independent of gravity, but I noticed that the chains that like her shackles were on, they weren't acting as they should have done.
That's
They weren't
true.
still pointing towards the floor. They were pointing towards wherever the floor would have been in the set.
That's
Oh,
true.
wow.
There you go.
So, they fucked up. This was shit.
Yeah, they really.
the right experience, to be honest.
That's where they lost me. You can do whatever you want, Scarlet Johansson, but don't take gravity from me. Fair enough. Okay, so she's having a kind of an exorcism experience, and then she wakes up and she just kind of sits straight, doesn't she? And she waits for this guard to come in. Okay. Oh, it's a different guard this time.
Yes.
Yeah, different guard.
Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't matter.
So they're all pretty good in the mill.
Doesn't matter anyway, though. So.
I'm 100% sure it's a different
None of
guard.
them belong to this world, so it's fine.
Anyway, so the guard comes in, and she kind of like looks at him, and he looks at her, and she kind of like invites him over with an eye.
With the legs.
That's with the legs.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the guard gets a bit cocky. Oh, that was a pun I didn't intend to use. And
don't get cocky around my lower tummy.
Oh, John. Oh, that's a quote for the books.
That's our next T-shirt.
And then anyway, so she then beats him up, unhooks herself, and she goes out. And
She's now had a full personality transplant, it seems. Like now she's just like
wired differently. Yeah.
She's just a killing machine. Like she's
Exactly.
Superman essentially.
Yeah. So anyway, so then she grabs his gun, and she goes out, and they're all having dinner, and she shoots them all, but she shoots them so well that no blood splatters on any of the food.
No.
Which is great because she then goes to eat loads. Okay.
Sure.
So she does that, and it's kind of to indicate that she's super hungry because she's using more of her brain.
Sure.
So her body needs the calories.
Never comes up again though. She
No.
doesn't eat again in the movie. That's fine. That's it. She's done. She's full now. Her lower tummy is full.
Oh gosh.
Yes, accurately so. And then she goes off, and she at this point, she's looking for a hospital because somebody shoots her in the shoulder.
Yes.
She doesn't show any pain, and she just
I think
picks
she's
her
more
up.
concerned with the bag of drugs that's hemorrhaging in her stomach.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
she doesn't do anything about the shoulder.
That's
She
true.
pulls out. She just pulls out Mandy.
Yeah,
doesn't she?
also, when was she shot? I missed that.
I missed that too. Yeah.
Well, somebody shot her while she was shooting the.
Oh, like, as
guys.
they were falling to the
Yeah,
death, like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right,
she
okay.
pulls it out and just throws the bullet on the table,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Like, anyway, so nonchalantly.
Yes.
So then she heads to like a taxi firm or whatever. She needs to get a taxi, right? Okay, and for some reason, and to this day I do not understand why, she says, do any of you speak English or something like that? And one person goes yes, and the other person goes no. So she shoots the guy who says no. No reason.
No, she asked him first, then she shoots him, then she asks the other guy, and he goes, yeah.
He was like, "You don't speak English? Are you sure?"
But there was no reason to shoot that man.
I know. At this point, I was like, "Well, you're not the hero of this movie anymore. You just murdered a guy in cold blood. Like, the gangsters who just like kicked you in the lower tummy. I can understand, but this,
Well, yeah, exactly. That's when I lost like empathy for her.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I mean, there's a throwaway line in the later part of the movie where she said, like, "Oh, you never really die." It's like, how do you know? Like, I get it. You're now using 10 times more brain or whatever, but like, how do you know what happens after you die? How would you know?
she knows all. She is all. She's one
But
with the universe.
but at that point, she wasn't yet one with the universe.
She was only using 20% of her brain.
Yeah. So
Maybe that's just a belief she had before, like a
maybe
hippy-dippy belief.
yeah, or maybe she just didn't care. Maybe she never cared.
I don't think she ever cared.
We never saw
Maybe
her being
she
a good
was a
person.
psychopath. Yeah,
She does call
She
her-
may already be a murderer for all we know.
I don't know Lisa's life prior.
She was dating Euron Greyjoy, and so she was clearly a woman who made bad choices.
Very true. So anyway, so now she's a cold-blood murderer.
Yes.
Anyway, so the other taxi driver takes her to the hospital. She then walks into a surgery that's already happening. And they're like, "Whoa, what are you doing? Get out." They just recognize that she speaks English. And then she looks at the x-ray, makes one judgment call about this other person's life on the table, and shoots that person instead.
So now we've got a bit of a inconsistency here where she seems to does care about people's lives. Like, oh, he was going to die anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That taxi driver who didn't speak English, he wasn't going to die anyway.
So
He had stage 4 undiagnosed cancer. It was a mercy.
Mercy shoot.
He had months and he didn't know it.
he was patient 0 coronavirus.
Whoa.
Too soon, Harry.
2014.
Hey, speak English?
No, no, no. Ah!
You speak English?
Yes, yes.
Take me to the hospital now.
So yeah, so she's gone. She's just making life judgment calls as she goes, right? But yeah, so she then asked this surgeon to take the drugs out. Whilst this is happening, she doesn't need any anesthetic, and she calls her mum. Okay, which is fair, you know. You're going through a
long day.
Yeah, it's a rough day.
Moment,
Yeah. Okay, so she calls her mum, all right, and so she starts talking to her mum about all her memories, and they kind of get younger and younger and younger.
It gets so weird so quickly.
It's like, I remember the mossy feeling of your vagina. Wasn't the exact line.
Wow. It wasn't quite that level. It was the one level of mother's milk. Yes, exactly.
Right, you know,
that was
the next. Gonna be the next thing. Yeah.
I love your knowledge of female anatomy. I don't think anybody's ever described a vagina as mossy before.
Making assumptions.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
That's another t-shirt right there.
It's gonna be a sellout, that quote, isn't it?
Yeah, that's in the director's cut.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so she says, this is the bit where I was like, if you're all knowing, then maybe you should know not to say that to your own mother.
Yeah. Mum should really be like, okay, so you're on a bad trip. Find a friend.
Yeah.
Get a taxi home.
Anyway,
just explain to your mother what's going on. Like, she's not necessarily going to understand it right away,
Sure.
but it's better than thinking, wow, she was fucked and then she died.
Exactly. That's the last time I heard that.
that was literally the last thing. Like, because she said something really sweet before that. I remember like thousands of your kisses. I thought that's really sweet. Oh, leave it there. I remember your milk. I remember when you had a curry the night before. Anyway, so that happens. Yes, so after getting the drugs out, she still has the drugs in hand, but her lower tummy now is just her lower tummy. Yeah, okay. Oh. And so she then goes home, where her housemate is still living there.
Well, she gets on a flight first and disappears for a second.
That's after.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's still in Taiwan at this point.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. Yeah. I thought I'd missed something there. Like, she flew home. So she went home, and she met her housemate. And at this point, you get to see that she's starting to see the world differently, kind of like the Matrix. Like she can see all the
very much
neurons.
like the Matrix, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She can see all the neurons and stuff, and she like assesses her housemate's like
physiology.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to say that in a non-creepy way. Assesses her physiology.
She's like, you've got an undiagnosed kidney problem, so you need to take care of that. Like,
you've got one mossy vagina.
Oh god.
Anyway, so she's doing that, and then what she does is she does a bunch of research on a laptop. And as was pointed out in like comments and stuff, is that even though you can work super quick, your laptop can't.
Yeah, this is 2014 as well. Like,
exactly.
What bandwidth are you working at now?
Anyway, so she uses this laptop to call none other than Morgan Freeman, who's like the expert of life.
Brains.
Brains. Yeah, exactly.
Brains.
Yeah.
He knows what happens in the 20 to 40% range of brain activity.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's like the only person you can call.
Yeah.
And so she reads all his work like really quickly in seconds and stuff, and memorizes it. And she calls him through the laptop, and he gets a phone call, answers it, and then she appears on the TV screen and like on another laptop somewhere else and stuff.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was good. I remember it from the trailers.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember the trailers for this really vividly. I don't know why. Maybe I saw them a lot or something. Or
well, I think.
But also, all the best bits of this film are in the trailers.
Yeah,
but it's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like the concept, I quite liked, even if it's not accurate. The 10% thing.
The movie feels like a trailer because it's so short and like jammed in. Like
yeah. Oh, that is this movie's saving grace. Is its runtime?
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway, so they converse and stuff, and she's like, "I have to meet you," and Morgan Freeman.
Like, what does he contribute in the grand scheme of things to this film, other than exposition? Like to her, like she's the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-brain. She's read his work, she's absorbed it. Like, what at this point and for the rest of the movie does he actually do? I think he says like, "You've got all this power, maybe share it," and she's like, "That's revolutionary." That's all he does. That's all he's bringing to the table in this movie, as far as I can tell.
It's weird because somebody in his position like he's pretty much all his knowledge on the topic, he's written down or he's delivered in big classes and whatever in lectures. So she's already got all that. She's read everything.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know.
All that he has that she doesn't have is just all the boring stuff that goes on in his mind.
Which reminds me, you were talking about Morgan Freeman's like questionable lecturing style. His lectures reminded me what the lectures felt like. They didn't feel like university lectures. They felt like he was doing a TED talk.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh,
Didn't they?
Yeah. There's people who don't really know anything and they just like really dumb stuff down for 10 minutes.
Yes.
He was doing a ropey TED talk. I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, maybe everybody just looked smart, but actually it was just a big TED talk. Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's the thing. So she's like, okay, so I need to give this knowledge, but she's also worried about what's going to happen. So she wants to go to him to get some kind of
Oh sure, yeah.
To give
it's
the
like the
knowledge.
human side of like Lucy like still clinging in there, that she's still like not all gone, or that she's not all part of the drugs. But that's why she reached out to like she wants someone to actually relate to her and understand who she is. That's why she reached out.
But why does she go to him? Why does she make the journey?
Because she cares.
I can't remember anyway.
Well, she needs to meet the other scientists as well. The Council of Elders that shows up at the end. There's a whole reason.
Well, she's not in full control of everything because, like, after this, that's when she gets on the plane, right?
Yeah, now she's on the plane.
Yeah, and she has that meltdown where like she just starts evaporating.
She literally has a meltdown.
Yeah.
She starts melting.
And that's not what she wants to do, is it?
Yeah.
So I guess she's kind of like she's panicking with everything. And
She's at some point she comes to the realization, which she seems to deal with off screen,
Yeah.
that she has less than 24 hours to live.
Yeah, I think it's once she's evaporated.
Yeah.
She's like, probably going to die soon. Yeah. Which normally you think that when you start to evaporate. But
Well, then she absorbs all the drugs.
Yes.
What I find funny though is she's starting to evaporate, and the air.
Is it the way
the cabin crew?
Is it the way she chomps down on the drugs in the bathroom?
Oh, that. Yeah. Kind of like the Cookie Monster.
Also, not very efficiently, I must say. She just kind of like pours it into her hand and like it goes everywhere. But
I like
the next person in that bathroom is going to be like, what the fuck? Blue powder on the walls?
What I like is they're landing the plane, and like she's evaporating, and all the air cabin crew can go, "Ma'am, please sit down." Like she's evaporating. Why is this? Why are you not freaking out more? Why is it not? Don't land the plane yet.
The no evaporating sign is clearly on. Please wait for the plane to fully land and stop moving before you evaporate.
No smoking means no evaporating.
Yeah. We will turn the aircon on. Nothing on left
oh god.
Oh dear. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so it should be mentioned as well that before she got on the plane, she'd also called the French police department.
Oh yes.
And this is where we meet Del Rio, who's my favourite character in this. So she calls him to warn him about the 3 other people going home, who are all going to different places in Europe, so Italy, France, and Germany.
Yes, they've all been sent with the drugs in their lower tummies to spread it all around Europe, essentially.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, classic lower tummy drug trade.
Yes,
and she calls the police to warn them. So he then contacts the different countries. This is 2014 when Europe was still friends with each other.
Sure, yeah.
And
well, they still are.
Well, they still, yeah, it's just
no,
us.
Not us.
That's true,
this film did not go here, did it?
No, it's very true.
So they all get arrested as they land into the various airports, like Berlin,
yes,
Paris, and
everyone gets picked up.
Yes,
yeah, and they all get taken to France.
Yes,
yeah, exactly. So when Lucy lands, she lands in France, and she meets Del Rio, and because she's also trying to save these people who've got the drugs in them. That's the reason, I think, because they want to give the drugs to Morgan Freeman to test and stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
This all feels like. How on earth did she manage to organise this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and there's another big plot that we missed. Because when she turns into Lucy, she then finds Mr. Jang again. And she goes after Mr. This is important.
This actually matters.
Yeah.
The one person she doesn't kill, which,
Exactly, the taxi driver!
Yeah.
This is after she's killed the taxi driver. This is after she's stopped caring about life. This is the one person that she should have killed, and admittedly would have kind of ruined the film.
Yeah.
So anyway, she goes after Mr. Jang for revenge.
Yeah.
Oh no, to find out where the 3 other people
That's
were going.
it. She kind of Vulcan mind melds him.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
that was a load of crap right there. She mind melds with him, and so then suddenly she's in this memory of his, and she can look around
Yes.
the entire scene of this memory and look into other people's memories within that memory, and see like where all these tickets are going that are all very conveniently poking out of pockets.
Exactly.
That people never actually looked at explicitly and knew what was going on. She could just...
I guess the one thing...
It was like the holodeck in Star Trek turned up to 11. It was...
Yeah, no, it was really kind of far-fetched. Like,
Yeah.
It would have been great if it just kind of like, you just showed her kind of doing the telekinesis or whatever, mind reading, and then go, oh, thanks, France, Germany, and Italy.
Yeah, great.
Great. That would have been like, okay. But there was this kind of like eagle-eyed vision thing. Anyway.
But just another scene of his, like, he probably told people where to put them. Like, that's not going to be the most confidential information in the world.
Yeah,
he probably would have just said, okay, send them to France, Germany, Italy, and whatever.
We'll send them home. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just do that, and that's great. Just go back to that memory where he says that.
Exactly.
Or they go to this weird memory that... Oh, no.
Anyway, so then she pulls out 2 knives and stabs him in the hands. Like chaining him to the chair, and then talks about pain and what pain is and stuff like that, and walks off.
Yeah, leaving him little help.
Exactly. Anyway, so now he's really annoyed with her, which is a big part of the plot. So moving back to France with Del Rio, so they've picked everyone up. Lucy's in France, and which is where also Morgan Freeman is as well. So this the rest of the film takes place in France, in Paris, I presume.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's that. So that she meets up with Del Rio because she wants to meet the drug people.
Yeah.
The drug mules. Yeah. And however, the South Korean gang, they have a different idea, and they pick up the drug mules as well.
At this point, I got very confused about the time frames we were working with here, because she says quite early on, I don't think, while she's still in Taipei, she's like, I don't think I'll last more than 24 hours, before this works through my system and kills me. How long does it take her to get from Taiwan to France, do all this, then for the South Koreans to know where she's going, or the Taiwanese to know where she's going, and to follow her to France, and then everyone's moving around so quickly, it seems, like in the space of a single day.
Yep, that's the biggest plot point. That's the
Sorry,
biggest. That's the biggest plot hole.
Like, someone's flown to Rome and then picked up in Rome, and then they've been transferred from Rome
that's
to
true.
Paris.
Actually, I didn't even think about that.
Taipei to Paris is 14 hours flights.
That's good. That's a massive chunk. That's 50% of your time.
Yeah.
No wonder maybe she gets extra time because she takes in more of the drugs.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, there you go. Solved it. Saved it. Yeah, there you go.
Ironclad.
Also, just to say, there are 6 flights per week, which means it's not going to be that convenient. You can't just go like, right, let's go right now. You will need to wait about 24
so
hours.
So the gangsters either were on the same plane.
But they didn't notice any of this.
Well, she kept a low profile.
She was in first class. Yeah, she was in first class.
Yeah,
so
okay, sure.
that's what happened. Yeah, okay. Yeah, ironclad, like you said. Anyway, so Del Rio and Lucy meet together, and she's like, okay, we've got all the drug mules, let's go. So they get in the car. However, the South Korean gang start chasing her in the car, and so Lucy takes over. And what she does is, instead of going, using her brain power to go the safest way possible, she then caused absolute havoc in Paris, which is a nightmare to drive in anyway, by going down the wrong way. So driving against traffic. Yeah. And she caused absolute havoc. And it's not like, at first you see cars like swerving out the way, so maybe there's like minor injuries, there's obviously, oh, my car's broke and stuff. But then you start seeing cars flip over. So lots of deaths. And Del Rio, the police officer, like, whoa, slow down. Not like, stop, get out. You murderous rampage.
He's very suggestible in this film, Del Rio. He's just goes with it.
Just chill.
Well, my favourite thing about Del Rio is he doesn't show any emotion in his face. No emotion whatsoever. Yeah.
The thing I loved about that car chase, I really enjoyed this car chase. Well, it's not even a car chase, it's just driving.
Driving the wrong way in Paris.
Yeah, it was just how much it escalates. It's just fantastic, because you're right, it starts off like nothing's really going wrong, it's fine, and she nearly hit some people, not really, and then cars are literally going flying, and then that end bit where the bollards start coming up, And then there's like an entire fleet of police cars just start catapulting over these bollards into a market. It's just so extreme. It's great.
Yeah, so a lot of blood everywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of deaths. Yeah. So Lucy's death count is quite high. Yes. Anyway, so what happens after that?
Is this when she meets the Council of Elders?
No, because then she runs into the gang again.
Oh yes, they corner her. Well, she picks up.
Oh, she has to collect the drugs.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
all the other we see it, don't we? That the Taiwanese gangsters have picked off the other 3 drug mules and retrieved the drugs, and so she then has that running with them where she gets it all back. Is that what happens next? Yeah, where she like makes they have the standoff in the hall. Of the police station, I think.
Yeah.
Where she makes them all. Like she leaves them all like floating on the ceiling. Kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She just kind of like float. This is after making the police like fall asleep straight away.
Yes,
because she woke up in a hospital after the plane. That's
right.
Yes,
that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, guys.
Yeah.
Read the Wikipedia.
So anyway, so at this point she's met the gangsters again and she's defeated them. She's got the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so she then goes to meet Morgan Freeman, and they finally get to the university where she meets the Council of Elders. Mm-hmm. Okay. And at this point, she starts to explain life. She starts to explain the meaning of life and how we see things differently. And it's not 1 + 1; it's just time. Yeah,
it feels very like this part of the script was written while the screenwriters were just baked one night. Like looking at their hands, like changing shape. Like, oh, wow, like I've got witchy hands. I've got double hands.
Humans consider themselves unique, so they've rooted their whole theory of existence on their uniqueness. 1 is their unit of measure, but it's not. All social systems we put into place are a mere sketch. 1 + 1 = 2. That's all we've learned. But 1 + 1 has never equaled 2. There are, in fact, no numbers and no letters. We've codified our existence to bring it down to human size, to make it comprehensible. We've created a scale so that we can forget its unfathomable scale.
So anyway, so at this point in the film, the aim of Lucy is to give all her knowledge, so to transform all the knowledge into
to the world. Yeah.
To the world. Yeah. She knows she's going to die, so that's what she's going to do. But now, in order to do that, she needs to focus and she needs to use up all her energy, so she can't be distracted. However, what's funny is you see like a bunch of police coming up to the university for protection and stuff, for security. Mm-hmm. Across the street, they're all loading up with guns. Yeah. So on the other side, you see police rolling in, and then just across the street, everyone's just loading up with guns, bazookas, and it's just like nobody noticed.
It was a bit weird.
I think I missed the scene where the bazooka was introduced, because then when they fired
me too,
the bazooka,
actually,
I was like, where did he get a bazooka from?
Anyway,
you just have that in your back pocket.
You don't have one with you? Or?
Well, once everyone got ready, because I guess they were nice to each other. They're like, okay, you get ready, we'll get ready, and then
we'll have this
meet
fight
in the hall.
inside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they then start to storm the university, and it's like they've got the police on one side protecting the doors, and the scientists, and then the gang on the other side, and there's this big fight, and everyone's shooting at each other, and there's lots of scenes of someone shooting a statue, but it's not like there's anybody in front of the statue. It's just the statue being blown off. So someone's got really bad aim, or someone just really didn't like that statue. But anyway, so there's this big fight scene, and Del Rio gets shot in the throat. Again, no emotion in his face, and all he does is put his hand to his throat and go, "Okay, I'll carry on."
Oh la la!
Yeah. So anyway, so there's this big fight, and finally Mr. Jang finally gets through, and at this point Lucy is sat in this chair and she's transforming herself into this computer.
She's now, it's like throughout the film we get the countdown of how much of her brain capacity she's using. She's now at 90 and approaching 100.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like bit close, but because she's focusing, turning herself into this big kind of weird alien supercomputer.
Actually, so can I go back a little bit, because there was one bit that really made me laugh that you missed.
Sorry.
I think it's when they meet the Council of Elders, I think, or maybe the police, I can't remember, but there's someone who questions, no, it was a police officer, who questions like, who are you and why should I believe you, and this is just kind of, do you guys watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I have done. Yeah.
She fully keeps Summer saves him. Do you know that scene where the
Yeah.
car? She just goes, "You had a child. He was killed in a car accident."
Oh, yes, that's right.
The upholstery in the car was blue.
that was at the Council of Elders.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. This is like, so
It was so Rick and Morty.
can you show us your powers?
Yeah.
And she was like, sure.
You've
And
got
she
a dead
could have
kid, yeah.
she could have shown him anything.
Yeah, just do
But
the
let me
acting
remind
again.
you.
Like she just broke that man completely. Oh, it's fine. Death doesn't matter. Just kill him. It'll be better.
Most traumatic thing ever. Not a happy memory with that child, but no.
Just literally the moment of him being mown down by a car.
She has abilities. Can you give us an example?
Your daughter, Gabrielle, age 6, died in a car accident. It was a blue car, leather seats, plastic bird hanging from the rearview mirror.
Anyway, sorry. So yeah, she's becoming the one with the force.
One with a foot, yeah, exactly, yeah. So Mr. Jang bursts through, and she starts to get closer and closer, and then you see Lucy, and she's sat in the chair. At this point, she's whole, and she kind of like, I don't know how, but she goes into New York, and you're not really sure. So you see Lucy in the chair in New York.
I loved that she took
Times
the chair
Square.
with her.
Yeah.
It was obviously like a budget thing. This film didn't have budget for like particularly good CGI. So instead of like putting her in this world, she just has to sit in front of a green screen and they just like put some dinosaurs and stuff in front of her. Spoiler: there's dinosaurs in this film.
Well, yeah, so she's in New York, but nobody notices her. So
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, so she's kind of watching it, but she's not really there.
It's like she's Tinder swiping through history.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
And then she goes like back through time, and she's like Native Americans, and they kind of like see her and start to respond. So you're like, oh, is she going back through time? And then she swipes again. She swipes left or what, right? I'm not too sure. And then I can't remember. I think she ends up with the original Lucy, the first
Yeah,
woman.
well, she's obviously going back and forth because she goes, "There's a dinosaur, isn't there?"
I don't know. I don't remember this dinosaur,
There
but
was
you.
am I making this up?
No,
There was
there's definitely
a
dinosaur.
yeah.
No, 100. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you,
I
thank
do
you.
believe you. I just don't remember.
There's
it,
a bit where she's like, at this part of the film, she's sat in her office chair in the tropical rainforest or whatever it is, and then it's like a velociraptor thingy jumps out. She's like, whoa, and then she just goes back to Lucy, like the first woman.
Oh right, okay. Oh yeah, so she would go forward. In
Yeah,
time.
she jumps forward.
So, whoops,
too far. Yeah, overshot. Yeah.
And then she interacts with Lucy,
Yes.
first ever woman.
Yeah, they do
supposedly.
a little
Yeah.
ET moment.
Exactly,
Yeah.
this ET moment. And so that's when you're like, is she going through time?
Yeah.
If she was going through time, did New York just ignore her completely?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it goes back to present day. Mr. Jang's about to shoot her in the head, and he shoots her, and she's disappeared. There's
Yeah.
nothing. Her clothes like just fall on the floor.
Yeah. She's fully Jedi died. Yeah.
Jedi died. Yeah, exactly. Jedi'd. Yeah.
She's died. Yeah. I'm terribly sorry. She died. We did everything we could.
We cut up in a lower tummy. And then she forms herself into this computer. And then Del Rio comes in and shoots Mr. Jang or something, doesn't
Yes.
he? Yeah, still holding his neck.
Yeah, still just stabbing that far.
Yeah, clearly not bled out yet. Somehow. He hasn't Jedi'd. And then like the computer kind of forms into a small micro USB, hands it to you.
It's not a micro USB, it's a regular USB.
Oh, regular USB.
I would have
So-
loved
yes.
to have seen the scene where Morgan Freeman tries to plug it. Oh shit, the wrong way, other way.
So it's just a USB. Right.
Sorry, this is
A vinyl. And
Oh, my laptop's up great. It's too futuristic. Doesn't have
Let me phone my
USBs
grandma.
anymore.
Derek!
Have you got an adapter? Has anybody got a dongle?
hands this USB, and then it's the classic line. And she then the supercomputer kind of dissolves, and then Del Rio's like, "Where is she?" And then he gets a text message on his like Nokia brick.
Why did he still have that in 2014?
I don't know.
What's wrong with him? Smartphones been around for like 7 years at this point.
When she phones Morgan Freeman, he picks up on a full, he's an old man.
It's a landline.
Yeah.
It's the hotel line though, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
okay.
Yeah.
People still have landlines, and they're old, and it's weird.
Okay, sure.
I don't get it. I've got a landline. It rings every now and then. I never pick it up.
No, it's only marketing calls.
Yeah.
And then anyway, he picks up this phone and it's like, where is Lucy? And the text says, everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I am everywhere.
I am everywhere.
Boom,
yeah.
end of movie. Yeah.
And that's Lucy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. She also goes far back enough that we see like the formation of the Earth. We see the Big Bang.
They? Sorry, yes, yeah.
All stuff like that. It's
because somehow she can see that. Yeah.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
She's
She's the
everywhere.
walrus.
Well, I guess
you know.
I guess that she's interacting with every different molecule, and so
Yeah.
like she can see the history of all the molecules and like where they all came from and everything and whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
to what end? Like,
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
why? We don't care.
so yeah. If you use 100% of your brain, this is the concept. You are now all powerful, all knowing. Like that's the concept, isn't it?
Bullshit.
So I take it you weren't a fan of this one then, no?
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good fun. I really enjoyed watching this.
Yeah.
I think there's just all around good entertainment.
It was no skyscraper though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
High bar.
was disappointed watching it in the cinema because I expected more.
Yeah,
I expected it to
too.
be a bit more serious. That's
Sure.
the thing, a bit more believable. But the second time around, I enjoyed it more because I like watching.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's because I more knew what it was, or what to expect, I should say, because this is not what they tried to make it.
I think my main problem with the film was that it didn't have it does have the Superman problem in that because she's too powerful and she's not very relatable because very quickly she just becomes this like all-knowing cyborg. You know that nothing's going to kill her. I know she's not a cyborg, but I misunderstood the plot entirely. But yeah, like if you think of
Your lower tummy is now a part computer.
Yes. But like in The Fifth Element, which is like the other big Luc Besson film, like you've got Bruce Willis as this kind of like burnt out future cabbie. You've got Mila Jovovich as this crazy sexy alien. You've got Chris Tucker as this crazy comic relief that's kind of annoying but also kind of the best thing in the movie at the same time. Like you've got lots of really interesting, quirky Ian Holmes in it from The Hobbit. Like all like characters. It's this crazy situation much like this film, but it's a lot more characters. Whereas this film doesn't really have a lot of characters because Morgan Freeman's just Dr. Exposition. Del Rio, God only knows, and Scarlett Johansson is very straight down the line. So it does lack that. I think it could have done with just a bit more characterization.
Yeah.
It felt like the most interesting character was the boyfriend, Euron Greyjoy, and he got killed off in 10 minutes. or British villain who says lower tummy, who she's just never seen again.
Yeah, it was hard to feel sorry for Lucy.
Yeah.
Because she was a murderer.
Yeah. But like, I'm not saying this film should have been longer, but if it had been like taken another half hour for the journey of her like losing her humanity and be like, oh my god, like she's trying to hold on to a part of herself, but it's happening and she's losing herself, then all the stuff of her mum could have really kicked more. But it really felt like it went from 0 to 60 in that moment.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
I just feel like it's one of those films that had like a lot of rewrites where they just kind of like, oh, you got to put this in as well. Oh, throw one of these in as well to make it a good film. That's like trying to make it like generic, like good movie points.
We need some trailer moments in this. What can we do?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, that's why they had like things like flying through Paris and stuff. It's like, oh, it's an action film, so like throw this car over the other side of the wall. Yeah, go for it. Blow the statue because it make a good point in the trailer too.
Yeah, I feel like either he shot 4 hours of this and some poor editor had to pull it all together, or they put everything in and then there's no editing whatsoever. Like, one word, I can't tell which one it was, but
It's the whole film.
yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think it's a good. I like watching these kind of films at home on Netflix with friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good kind of film you can enjoy. But when you go to the cinema and you spend money, that's when I'm a bit like, I expect a bit more. That's my like thing. So I'd give it like 6 out of 10.
See, we watch a lot of films in the cinema. A lot of them are crap. So I've got a low barrier to entry. You know? If I don't actively fall asleep, I'm happy to have spent the money. You know?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he does fall asleep quite a lot these days.
It's only twice, isn't it? Invisible Man and Terminator.
Yeah, it's been a few more.
Okay.
You just don't remember.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Lucy.
back to Lucy. Yes.
Yeah. Should we do drinking games?
Yes, drinking
Well,
games. Yeah.
So, drinking games. My first drinking game is drink for heavy-handed visual symbolism.
Go on.
You're nodding. I can see you know what I mean, Joe. So particularly in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh, I see. Where it's like, here's a cheetah chasing a gazelle sort of thing.
What the fuck was that? It was so bizarre. It was. I know.
That was half the film. That's what the editor had to do.
Just to cut that down. Yeah. So it's like when.
Yeah, there probably wasn't enough of this. Actually, they probably filmed about an hour, and the editor's like, we can't just release an hour of film.
Yeah, just throw in some David Attenborough shit. Yeah, when the boyfriend is telling her to when the boyfriend is trying to talk her into delivering the suitcase, it just cuts to a random scene of a mouse walking into a mousetrap, and it's like, oh wow, that's really subtle. And then when the gangsters grab her, suddenly there's nature shot of a bunch of cheetahs tearing down a gazelle. It's like, what is that? What are you saying to me here? Who thought this was necessary?
I don't know.
That's a good one.
Yeah. When I've got drink for percentages.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Didn't think about that. That's true.
Yes, we see the
sort of
progression.
chapter titles, basically.
From 10 to 100, yeah.
Yes, I had one for every time that Del Rio didn't pull a facial expression when he should have. So the first one was when, we didn't explain this, but she knocked all the policemen asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
It's just like, okay.
It's like, oh, that's unusual. The second one was when they're driving one way.
Yep.
I would have, if I was driving one way in Paris, right? Or not one way, sorry, driving against traffic in Paris, I'd be bricking it. I'd be petrified. But this guy's like, ooh, this is dangerous.
He's French. They're very nonchalant.
That's true.
They invented nonchalant.
It's their word.
Yeah. You got shot in the throat again. No expression.
Tis a flesh wound.
When you got kissed. Nothing
that was
again.
weird.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that the film needed that moment of her just randomly kissing him.
That was a one moment she was trying to be human again.
Yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, her last boyfriend just got his guts blown out.
Yeah, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I can't think of any. I was trying to think of. I'm just not very good at drinking games, so I couldn't think of anything good.
Fair enough.
Sorry. No
I had drink for dodgy CGI.
That was my next one too.
Yeah. All the time travel stuff made me laugh. The monkey at the beginning. I mean, it's not bad necessarily. No, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's very of its time.
Yeah, it wasn't the best visual effect.
No.
Drink for green screen.
Yeah, similar.
Which,
yeah,
there's plenty of that at the end. That was okay. Yeah.
Drink for scientific inaccuracy, so you'd be pretty wasted by the end. Anytime they got a science fact wrong.
I've got that as well when I said drink whenever Morgan Freeman passes off any wild guess as scientific fact.
Oh dear. Yes, I've run out now.
Okay, my last one, which I think we've covered pretty thoroughly already, but drink for strange uses of words, such as lower tummy.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, that's it.
That's it. Very good.
Okay, great. Well, before we get to sequels, I just want to let the listeners know, and I guess you too as well, that me and John do have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/beyondtheboxset, and if you think that me and John are worth it, you can support us for as much or as little.
He really looks into the whites of your eyes when you do this.
I just thought of the L'Oreal advert. That's all. It's like your hair is pretty good.
Yeah, if you do become a Patreon, you get a few things. You get a bonus show where me and John review everything we see in cinema. We're trying to still do our best despite everything closing down at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll
just watch some classics or some Netflix movies.
Yeah.
We'll still keep it going. Don't worry. We'll find a way.
You also get access to our exclusive Facebook group. It's a very friendly place on the internet, which can be rare to find sometimes, but that's one of them. You also
a lot of weird websites.
Sorry, that's a joke from off air, but yeah. You also get a 30-second advert slot on the main show if you want. You can talk about your own podcast, your own business, whatever you feel like talking about. Also, once a month on the main show, we get a Patreon on to choose the film for us. You can come on the show if you want to and guest. You can do it virtually, in person, or not at all. It's up to you. We'll do the film without you. Something else? Extended episodes.
Yes, we also do extended editions of our regular shows, such as this one.
Yeah.
More drinking games, more listener submissions, more jokes, longer plot summaries.
Yeah, and I think that's it. All that is available.
Patreon.com/beyondtheboxset. Yeah.
That's right. Cool. Okay, sequels then.
So we normally have our guests go in the middle of this, okay? Do you want to go first or last?
Great.
I will go last, so that you
Okay.
guys get warmed up, so you can help me out with mine.
Okay, so I guess that means I'm opening. Okay, so I've done something a little bit different this week, in that I have decided there is absolutely no need for me to create a sequel to this movie, because I feel
Sounds lazy.
Thank you for listening. Have a great time.
busy. No. But bear with me on this, because I feel like this movie already has a sequel, or I feel like there are sequels to this movie that already exist. So I'm going to posit some theories. So the first one I thought was that clearly this film is what it really is a prequel to Her.
Okay.
The Scarlet Johansson film.
Yeah.
Really
That-
good.
All of the movies are actually all tied together.
That one works really
The
well.
Johansson
This
universe.
is the Johansson Cinematic Universe, the SCU, yeah.
I see.
The shoe, if you will. Yeah, it makes so much sense, because have you seen Her?
No, I've not.
Okay, so
Oh,
Her...
I thought you meant like in person.
Have you seen her? She's just as beautiful in person. Her is a movie, Scarlett Johansson movie again. It came out the same year, actually, I believe, so it all ties together. Yeah, I think so, 2014. It's a Spike Jonze movie. Her stars Joaquin Phoenix. It's set in the near future. He basically falls in love with a computer operating system played by Scarlett Johansson. He essentially falls in love with Alexa. And Scarlett Johansson plays Alexa, and she's just like the voice of this computer. But as the film develops, she kind of develops like sentience, and she starts to become a person, basically. Like, she's still just a voice, she's never on screen, but like she's one with the whole universe. It's very similar to what she becomes at the end of this film. So I'm thinking at the end of at the end of Lucy, Scarlett Johansson, she transcends, she becomes the universe, and she goes on a bit of a psychedelic road trip for a few years or something, a little gap year, and then she kind of maybe she then decides she wants to be human again, but she's too far gone because she's been divorced from her body, and she's entirely become this transcendent being, and so she tries to get back into the world, and the only way she can do it is through technology. And so she starts she becomes like a ghost in the machinery. She starts haunting
A Ghost in the Shell.
a ghost in the shell. There we go. Another one in there. Yeah.
That was good.
I don't remember the plot though, but
I didn't see it. Yes, and then she starts haunting a computer operating system, meets Joaquin Phoenix, and Bob's your uncle.
yeah,
She becomes and then it's a really good film. You should watch it.
Yeah.
cool. That's really good.
Yeah. So my second one
Yeah,
is not such a sequel or prequel, but just an alternative film. This film really felt to me like what the film X-Men Dark Phoenix should have been.
okay.
You remember that
Go on.
terrible, boring film? It was the same thing, essentially.
Kinda. And one of us
if you'd
may have fallen asleep in it.
if you had slapped the title, because it also felt a little bit like it could be a Black Widow origin story kind of thing. It felt like a little bit. It would be quite artsy.
Wait, sorry. This felt like it could have been a Black Widow origin story.
I mean, I don't know what Black Widow's powers are, but
She
not.
doesn't have any.
She just like
Okay, then.
she's physical fighting. That's it.
Oh, okay, maybe not. Then. Fine. Let's do the X-Men.
She's a giant spider.
But if you just slap the title
I've
X-Men,
seen many Black Widow films with Black Widow in it, and you've
No.
never worked out that she doesn't have superpowers.
I can't wait to see her
Back in
powers.
this movie, isn't it?
I've only seen the two. To be fair, the two Endgame event things.
Sure, whatever. Guys, move on.
Game event thing.
Just
Oh my God.
don't get into it. Don't get into it.
Feel the nerd rage emanating. Okay, fine. Forget Black Widow.
Listeners, I'm holding both Joe and Jonah back right now.
It's Dark Phoenix. No, if you just called this film X-Men Dark Phoenix and just cast Scarlett Johansson, I think it would work, because it's essentially the same thing. In Dark Phoenix, she absorbs all this power, and then she becomes one with the universe. But in Dark Phoenix, it's done in a way that is super boring. In this, imagine this.
Yeah, you're not a million miles away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if this was the Jean Grey story. If she just, started using 100% of her brain.
See, Jean Grey, he remembers.
I grew up with Jean Grey. I didn't grow up with Black Widow. I think that works. I mean, this could be just swap Morgan Freeman for
Xavier.
for Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah. James McAvoy.
It should have been.
It's the other.
I don't acknowledge
yeah.
him, James McAvoy.
Him.
There's only one. There's only one Xavier. There's only one Xavier for me. It's Patrick Stewart. So.
Okay. Okay, let's move on from that.
Okay. Do you agree that would be a better version of the Dark Phoenix story?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Cool. My third and final one is Marriage Story. Obvious.
I thought about making that joke, and I was like, no, that's ridiculous. Go on.
Clearly, this is connected to the Marriage Story universe. Yeah. Well, you could just do Marriage Story where it's the same thing, but she's she's like got like 99% of her brain, and then that's how she realizes that she doesn't want to be with
Adam
Driver. Yeah. Or it could be that was the Lucy was the film she was starring in. When at the end in Marriage Story, have you seen Marriage Story?
Oh yeah, because she's an actress, isn't she?
Yeah, maybe this is the film she makes. Maybe that's the whole thing.
Okay.
But I think I like the idea more that she like just the woman from Marriage Story just transcends and becomes a crazy, and that's just in the terms of the divorce. Like,
she's finally free.
Yeah. I don't think you should have custody of our child because you've killed 50 Taiwanese people today. It was self-defense. Like Laura Dern, like
your Uber rating is really low.
Like Laura Dern is the crazy lawyer defending a woman who's literally dissolving before our very eyes into the ether. Like, yeah, I think, and then the big argument scene that Adam Driver and her have, and she's like fully like going into his brain and extracting memories and stuff, and he's just like this weeping puddle. Like she leaves him like hanging from the ceiling, just like like those the gang members. I mean that'd be fun.
Yeah, sure. That sounds.
Or makes him remember the taste of milk in his mouth.
Yes, perfect.
You do it every time.
Yeah, that's what the argument is. Stop making me remember my mother's mossy vagina.
Stop coming back to that, John.
Yeah, third time's the limit. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm struck out now. Yeah.
Cool. No, that's good.
Thank you.
Any more, or are you?
I don't know any more Scarlett Johansson films you want to throw at me? Like,
not that I know particularly well.
No.
To be honest.
I mean, we could do Lost in Translation, but I've not watched it in a while. So.
I've not seen The Island in about 20 years. So.
Yeah, that's it. Just I like the idea of a Scarlett Johansson.
I like
shared
that universe. Yeah, the shoe.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was wondering that if you were to get all her characters together and like put them in a fight or whatever, Lucy would win, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's yeah.
But what about so let's go back to the MCU for a second. Never got to say those words. What if it wasn't the Scarlet? What's the other woman? The one who does have loads of power? Elizabeth Olsen character.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch.
Could it be her origin story? Maybe she seems pretty powerful. Or down.
No,
doesn't work.
No. Just
let it go. Okay.
Yeah, don't try it.
I'm out my depth here.
Yeah, that just died. That particular theory.
Yeah.
Great.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you, yeah. So, Joe and Jonas, what have you got for us?
Well, this film sequel is called Loosey Goosey.
Loosey Goosey.
Loosey Goosey.
Had a few of them in listener submissions.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Only the title, I'm sure.
Oh, no, we'll have to wait and see because
different. Okay. Does it just turn into?
I can't imagine you've done the same thing.
Right. Okay. Okay. So this starts a month after where the film ends.
Okay. So Lucy has transcended into. She's at one with the universe.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman has all the information.
She's flying through the sky and landing on fancy ponds and
well,
stuff. And...
Not quite. Landing on fancy. I just got that joke. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So you want me to start?
Yeah.
Cool. So. The main part of this is that Lucy's developed a strong personality at this point.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's more of like a lack of personality, but she's got a strong character.
She's given up on life.
Yeah.
She's peaked, right?
Okay.
There's no progression.
She's at 100%. She's
at 100%, exactly. She knows everything.
Right.
So nothing interests her, right? So she's in the computers, she's in the internet, she's in part of the universe. She's peaked. Mm-hmm. So she's become this like middle-aged, given up on life kind of scenario.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But she can obviously communicate different ways. Like when she'd send the text on the phone and stuff, she can communicate like on like computer stuff. So she's talking to Morgan Freeman. He's going to organize a conference for like all the world leaders, academics, and like what they can learn from the experience and how they can utilize all the information that Lucy's now be able to give her on the pen drive.
They've not opened the pen drive yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a key point. They've not done it yet because they want everyone to gather.
They want to decide what they're going to do with it all.
Exactly. Yeah. So Morgan Freeman's he's trying to organize this conference. He's all stressed and stuff. He's in a hotel suite. It's all like messy. There's rubbish everywhere, and you can see a screen in the background. Well, two screens. Sorry. One is an emoji of Lucy. So this is how she kind of...
Sorry, an emoji?
Memoji. Yeah.
It's even worse.
What's an emoji?
Well, it's iPhone specific.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like when it like looks more like your face than like an actual like yellow character.
Okay.
and she is watching YouTube. She's just entered this like YouTube black hole. Right. Okay. So you're watching like lip sync battles or something like that. Yeah.
What a great way to spend all of the knowledge in the universe.
Yeah, but in preparation for the conference, of course, like Morgan Freeman's character's got all like, papers, research stuff all stacked all over the room and everything like that. And the maid comes in, start cleaning. So he's like trying to, put stuff away, organize papers and put stuff in bins, etc., etc. But the pen drive or the USB goes into the bin accidentally with all the other papers and stuff, and the person cleaning takes the rubbish out.
Exactly. So at this point, we cut to Del Rio, okay, and his life after Lucy.
Brought him back into this.
I love Del Rio back. Yeah, okay.
You've got to bring Del Rio back.
Exactly.
The fans are crying out for it.
Exactly. So Del Rio's back, right? And after Lucy, he just can't find any excitement in his life.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty high bar.
Exactly, yeah. So he's got into like extreme sports.
Sorry, he did get shot through the throat. In this movie, is he using like a
respirator?
A respirator thing, yeah, no, those things you have to put
to make his voice really monotone.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought of, but yes, for sure, yeah.
Or who's that guy who's in? Is it Mrs. Doubtfire and also Independence?
Oh, Harvey
Day?
Firestein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to recast him as Harvey Firestein.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He's now become a much fatter gay man who's also not French.
Within 1 month.
Yeah, within 1 month. He's had a real
And
on a journey. Yeah.
He does all this extreme
He got infected,
sports. Yeah, exactly.
The infection spread.
Yeah. The stress got to him. He's just stress eating.
Sure, yeah.
And he does all these extreme sports like base jumping, like ironing, like while skydiving, all these kind of crazy things. Right?
Ironing while skydiving?
Yeah.
You can't just like soft sell that. What?
So yeah, we're not moving past that. What now? How? Explain to me how. The wind would be an issue.
Oh God!
How have you windproofed this?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Sense the anger, but that's not science.
I'm going to be really honest. I've kept with a theme of it not being very scientific based. Okay. So it's all kind of scientific nonsense. Okay. So somehow Del Rio.
Does he take an ironing board up in the plane with him?
Yeah, exactly. He takes the air and he just kind of presses down.
And
seems dangerous.
How many
hot water blasting his face?
Just like, what if it like crash? What if it hits his lower tummy and he can't get it off?
No, my 1 weak spot. Yeah. Anyway, it can be skydiving. Yeah. Anyway, something crazy, right? It's just doing some crazy stuff.
I was trying to think of other things that I have problems with. But I was like, how does he dry his shirts? Oh no, the air rush would do that. That makes sense.
You have to remember, in this film, gravity works differently.
Do you remember the chains when Scarlett Johansson was on the roof? They didn't.
Okay. So gravity works differently. How does this affect ironing while skydiving?
So he can just do it.
So he's
just walking about like on air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I imagine that he'd be like in the skydiving position.
Is he still falling?
He's still falling.
Okay, so
gravity. He's not defied gravity. It's just that it's just that he's able to keep the shirt on the ironing board whilst ironing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of like holds it upright from the bottom. Holds the iron.
Oh, so upside down. He's ironing upside down. Why didn't you say so? That makes all the sense.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, that's of course, yeah. Sorry.
Should have said that right at the start.
I apologise. I feel like I've just started a new sport, though.
Yeah.
It's a new craze. Yeah.
Yeah, let you do that one, Joseph.
I'm not going to do it. Some adrenaline junkie. Anyway, so we cut to him and we just see that he does all these things and he lands, but he's just not happy. You can just tell he's just deprived of excitement of life. Anyway, so we cut back to Morgan Freeman. It's about an hour or so later, and he's on the phone, and he's speaking to someone, and he reaches for the USB, and it's gone.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's when he cuts to Del Rio, where he asks for his help. They got to go find the USB. So the friends are looking for it, can't find it anywhere, and he realizes that he must have tipped it into the rubbish bin. So
what a useless old fart.
So classic happened again. It happens to all of us. So they go down to
the secret of the universe is just accidentally thrown in the trash.
Yeah, but you don't know that, do you? Maybe it was.
It happened. There's just an accident. Things happen. So they go down to the lobby to try and find, if there's like general rubbish they can go through, try and find it. But they're too late. It's already been taken out to be taken to the tip.
This kind of sounds like the sequel to Lucy is like a buddy farce, like a
Oh,
comedy.
sorry, I should mention that was the intention.
Oh, it's a buddy comedy.
It is a buddy
Great,
farce
great,
comedy.
okay.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah. I thought that was obvious with the Loosey Goosey title.
Sure, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a big farce. Yeah.
Okay,
I thought
okay.
I'd change the theme.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Like it.
Big farce.
So wait, is she Lucy and is he Goosey?
Ooh. They can be. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a nickname for him. Yeah.
If it's going to be like a buddy film, then like
Yeah.
Lucy and Goosey.
Lucy
Yeah.
and Goosey. Yeah. Okay, it is now. It is now.
you know,
yeah.
it sounds like mac and cheese or something, doesn't it?
Lucy and Goosey, yeah. so they Del Rio is in France still. They're in the same city, and
The City of France.
city of Woo! yeah.
You're a teacher. You're not geography then.
Well, yeah. Definitely concede that one. Got that one wrong. So then, the city of
Not
France.
geography teacher. He's a French teacher.
She used to live in France as
I
well.
did, yeah. Yeah, they're in the city of France. And guess who else is there? It's the gang. The gang want revenge.
What gang? What's left? Who's left?
Mr. Jang, he didn't die. Oh, he did die.
It's
did
his
die.
son looking for revenge.
Oh,
Son.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
save. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mr. Jang Jr. Yeah, okay. And so the son's looking for revenge, and so they're listening in. They've been listening to Morgan Freeman.
Quick pause. Does this gang have a name? It's run by Mr. Jang, so Jang Gang.
The Jang Gang.
Come on.
Lucy and Goosey and the Jang Gang.
There we go.
Oh, that's our film title.
Lucy Goosey and the Django.
There you go. Hey, excellent. Very good. Right, so that's the film title.
Okay.
So the Jang Gang are... I've heard this conversation. They use tech and stuff, and they realize that the USB has been lost. So there's like, this is an opportunity. So they get in the cars, and whilst Lucy and Goosey are driving towards the tip, and Del Rio driving to the tip, they chase after them. So we've got another car chase. Okay.
Right.
So Lucy takes over the car.
So has Lucy become corporeal again, did you say? Or is she
No, she's not. So she's just in the
inhabiting
systems.
the
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
So
when-
she's the sat-nav, essentially.
Exactly. So it's
Okay.
now become this Knight Rider kind of
I
situation.
see, okay.
Yeah.
Can she control other cars
It's like,
as well?
it's like a Tesla. Oh no, yeah. If the
I mean, probably, but she could. This is the thing. She's given up on life. She just can't be bothered.
Okay, so it's like a really deadpan Scarlet
Yeah,
Johansson
exactly.
She's
situation.
depressed.
Yeah. So she's maybe it's depressed, but it's kind of because it's a farce. It's less kind of serious. Like,
Sure.
So she's like really deadpan, really sarky. So she's really sarky with them. So anyway, so they start chasing, and Lucy decides to take over, and she just goes the most dangerous route possible. She goes back down the against traffic thing. Okay, and so there's a mad car chase, and everything's kind of crashing and stuff. Anyway, and they eventually get to the tip, and the car's a mess, and it's all crumpled and stuff, but it kind of rolls in, and in the background you can see fire and flames and stuff as she wreaked havoc.
Yes, so they get to the tip, they've outrun the Jang Gang, and they try to find the USB, but obviously it's too small to be found. They can't find it. They do all they can, but it's not there.
Can't Lucy just use like
That's the
her
thinking that-
knowledge
'cause
of the universe to track it down? Or?
Yeah,
She's
well,
she
given
can't be
up.
bothered.
She's
Oh,
given
okay.
up.
Okay.
She's
You
just
ju-
going
you
along with the ride.
Okay.
She doesn't care.
I was also going to say, does she not remember what was on the USB? Like, she built the USB, but again, she doesn't care.
She doesn't care.
So that's
She's
that's
just
fine.
there for
You've
the sarky,
covered it.
sassy
You've covered
remarks.
it.
Yeah,
You just got Goosey and Del Rio trying to look through all the rubbish, and they can't find it. So
Okay.
they ask the person, like, hey, like, where's the rubbish gone? We can't find this USB. And he's like, oh, well, it's actually been shipped over to Australia to be recycled.
Okay.
So they're like, okay, well, we got to go over there. And like we learned in Lucy 1, time isn't really a big issue with flights and stuff. So they get to Australia like that.
Great.
And then...
So whoa. She can like teleport and
No,
time travel
no,
with other
no.
people.
No. So we'll backtrack. Okay, so Del Rio has a friend in Australia. He calls it up. It's none other than Rebel Wilson.
Playing herself?
Nice. Playing herself. Well,
No, I just couldn't think of a character.
An actress, okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay,
A character
okay.
who's played by Rebel
Okay,
Wilson, sure.
all right, okay. So Lucy Goosey and her nickname is Juicy. Okay.
Okay.
She works.
Perfect.
She works in the Australian Police Department. That's how Del Rio has his contact. Okay, so he calls her up. He's like, "Oh, we need help." It explains the situation.
No, he's probably like, Juicy.
Juicy. Yeah. Juicy.
Hi, Juicy. It's Goosey.
Juicy.
I can't imagine Del Rio talking like that.
Juicy.
Can it be an old flame instead of an old colleague? Like,
Well,
There's an actual layer there.
yeah. This comes up later, but anyway.
Okay, fine.
So they call. Okay, so we need to get to Australia. So Lucy books them first class tickets to Australia. Okay, on this private jet. Okay, so they get to the airport. They get on the plane. Right. Okay.
Do private jets have different classes?
Yeah, I think there's like some kind of like. Well,
It's a private jet.
I'm basing this off Inception. That plane on Inception.
Okay, sure.
Well, there's like a certain like.
It wasn't a private jet though. The guy bought the airline.
Oh, true. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Anyway, so it's a fancy plane.
Sorry.
It's a fancy plane. They go
house.
fancy. They go fancy. Yeah, sorry. They go fancy. Okay, so they fly over. But guess who's on the plane?
The Chang Gang.
The Chang Gang. Oh my god.
Exactly. Yeah. So it all kicks off. Okay, and Del Rio just kind of starts knocking them out, gets all these kind of beatings, doesn't make any kind of emotion. Okay, Morgan Freeman is carrying in the corner, and Lucy just takes over the plane and just flies it to Australia. Okay. Anyway, Del Rio wins. It's all good. Okay.
So the Chang Gang dead now?
Well,
Just you wait. Watch the movie.
All right, sorry. I'm overstepping.
okay, so they land in Australia.
Okay.
Yep. So Rebel takes them to the recycling centre.
Sorry, Juicy. Use her.
Oh gosh, sorry.
Use her character name.
Yeah, sorry.
It's Juicy.
Juicy takes Lucy and Goosey and Morgan. They go to the recycle centre and they find the USB.
Okay. I know this is a really minor point, but shipping recycling from France to Australia is really not going to work out from a carbon neutral.
Well, yeah. So they take the rubbish and make it into energy, and Lucy uses this magnet. Like she just takes over the system and uses a magnet to pick it out and sort it. And it's like, oh, that was quite easy.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah. So for convenience as well, they have the conference that Morgan Freeman was trying to organise in Australia.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So they get all the world leaders, academics, everything over to Australia, and they start having the conference.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. So it's the big day. Okay. And it should be mentioned as well at this point that Juicy and Del Rio, Goosey. Is he Goosey?
No.
Is Morgan Freeman Goosey?
Morgan Freeman's Goosey, isn't he?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's. Okay, so Juicy and Del Rio, okay, start to get to know each other.
Right.
Okay, and they start chatting. And it's kind of very classic Rebel Wilson, awkward, like very frontatious.
Confrontational?
No, not confrontational, but like very direct kind of flirting.
Yes, okay.
And it's kind of awkward at first. It's very funny. But then Del Rio starts to smile.
He's opening up.
He's opening up.
His cold French heart.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's starting to fall in love.
Aww.
With who?
Juicy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, just checking. It wasn't Lucy or Goosey. You didn't say.
Anyway, so it's the day of the conference, and all these academics are kind of and important people are coming in, right?
Right.
And in walks Mr. Zhang Jr.
Okay.
Just Mr. Zhang Jr.
Okay.
And he walks in, okay, and we see him. The camera pans, and we see him, and it focuses on him. And we realize he's there. Anyway, so Morgan Freeman does like a 5-minute spiel about life, and it's all kind of very Morgan Freeman, and he shows lots of clips of animals doing it and attacking each other and stuff, and talks about life and anyway, the importance of knowledge. And at one moment, Mr. Zhang Jr. stands up, just as Morgan Freeman's about to put the USB in, stands up with the 2 knives that Lucy used to stab Mr. Zhang, and throws them at Morgan Freeman.
No.
Yeah.
You can't kill Goosey.
Well,
that's when Juicy steps up, throws herself in front of Morgan Freeman, and takes the knives.
Oh my god.
So she falls down, she's on the floor. Of course, at this point, Del Rio is devastated, runs over, very high, intense emotional scene.
Where did they penetrate? Did they penetrate the lower tummy?
yes.
One in the lower tummy and one in the heart.
Oh no! Oh my gosh!
Oh god! Any final words at all, or is she dead straight away? I would like to see her like point up and go, I've got you, Goosey. Something like that.
We could throw that in there too. But her last dying wish was to know what was on the USB.
Mm-hmm.
So Goosey puts the USB in.
Morgan Goosey.
Morgan Goosey.
More Goosey.
Puts the USB in, and it says,
Humans already use 100% of their brains. Bang! That's the end of the film.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow, so it's like mind blowing. Like,
Mind blown. Yeah.
mic
all a
drop.
lie. Yeah.
It was all
Okay. So, if we all use 100% of our brains, what the hell was that first film about?
Exactly.
So what is Lucy? Who knows?
And then in the third film, we find out that the substance was from some kind of alien kind of alien origin.
We actually find out the entire film
Well,
was
that's
just her on a high trip.
On a trip?
When
I
the
did
bag
wonder-
burst, she got really high.
I wondered
and,
that.
that,
Yeah,
that makes
a lot more sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
that works absolutely fine.
There you go.
Very good, guys.
Yeah.
So that's Lucy Goosey and the Chang Gang.
And
Yes.
the Jang bang.
And the Jang-
the Jang gang.
Whoa!
That's a different thing.
that is a weird website.
Lucy Goosey and the Jang Gang. Great.
Wow.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. So Harry, over to you.
Why do I always do that? Why do I always go last?
know
Like, this is my decision.
You dig
But,
your own
like-
grave, you really do.
Oh, I'm gonna follow this up. Okay, well, I'm not. By the way, I'm not even going to attempt a good title.
Okay.
All I've got here is Lucy 2.0.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it's not Lucy Goosey and the Jang Gang or whatever, but
To be fair, I feel like that was a co-created title.
Yeah.
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 So
Maybe,
it was-
maybe we'll find something.
There you go.
Yeah.
sure. Well, it doesn't need it. Okay, so I will need some help with this
Okay.
when I get to about the 2 minutes that I've written. But yeah, we'll see. So we pick up with Morgan Freeman getting back to his lab in New York or wherever.
Is this immediately after the immediately after the events of the first film?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's talking to Lucy out loud, knowing that any electronic device can. It's Lucy. Like, she's everywhere. He plugs the memory stick into his computer.
This must make masturbation so uncomfortable.
Gosh.
Sorry.
Wow.
We went there.
Well, okay. So before he plugs the memory stick in, he goes into the other room and he sits down for a little bit. And Lucy, could you look away, please?
Don't look at
But in Morgan Freeman's voice.
I won't attempt it. I've just done the world of justice and not attempted it. No.
Anyway, on the memory stick are instructions to create the substance again.
Okay.
Wow. That's pretty good.
But is that
I mean,
it?
it's not as good as yours. No, that's not my idea. That's not it. But yeah, yours was better. All right. Anyway, and so Lucy says out loud that they should take it to the next level. So, cut to him having a few weeks later or something. They've made it. They managed to recreate the substance, and Morgan Freeman is going to take it, and he's going to take his brain to 100%.
Ooh.
Yeah. Lucy reforms her body just to help physically operate machines and whatever.
Oh, so she can come and go as she pleases?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I get that impression. And Morgan Freeman, he takes the drugs, and good CGI little effect of the drugs entering his body and going through his heart valve and everything. Everything turns blue a little bit. I'm blue. And then we get him having a bit of a trip over a few hours as his brain slowly ramps up to 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not instant 100%. He has to go through all the different phases that Lucy went through. And
20%.
Can he grow his own wigs?
I would very much like that to be. Yes.
He has to have like a full afro at some point.
Yeah. So all that sort of stuff over, of course, a montage.
Yes.
Love a montage.
Sure.
Once he gets to 100%, he and Lucy, they reach out their hands together and they merge into a new body.
Ooh. Wow.
Would you guys like to help cast whoever that would be?
So this is if Morgan Freeman and Scarlet Johansson melded into some kind of super being.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah Winfrey?
Yeah. Halle Berry?
Halle Berry?
That's a good shout. That's, I think, a better shout.
Yeah.
It takes
Sorry,
more
Oprah.
takes more ScarJo into it.
Yeah.
Beyonce?
What if it was someone really underwhelming? Like, what if, like,
What, like Steve Buscemi or something?
Yeah, exactly. What if, like, the sum total of Morgan Freeman and
I had
Scarlett
him
Johansson?
right there, didn't I?
Yeah. Poor Steve Buscemi, yeah. But yeah, what if there's, like, Morgan Freeman and Scarlett Johansson combined, you'd think it'd be this incredibly amazing, sexy, fit person, you know, obviously an amazing voice. What if it was someone who, just some schlub, you know?
Yeah.
Just Ricky Gervais just pops in.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he could... Because he's got nothing in common with either of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I was trying to find somebody like mixed race, like sort of
Yeah.
middle age,
Yes,
but
that's
like,
what I was-
really
yeah.
good looking sort of thing. But no, Ricky Gervais. That's
Yeah, it
like
becomes Ricky
the
Gervais.
exact opposite.
Perfect, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, they merge into Ricky Gervais, and a percentage flashes up on screen, and narration changes from Morgan Freeman to Ricky Gervais.
So Ricky Gervais now embodies both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like a man with two brains scenario where he's
Yeah.
arguing with himself, or is it just he's...
The percentage comes
Like a
up.
Gollum.
The percentage comes up, and it says 110%.
He's giving
That's pretty
110%. Yeah.
Well, they're
They are.
growing.
Okay.
So they both achieved 100% capacity of their
Already,
brains.
110% is very much in line with the first one because it's so impossible. It's really hard to grasp. Like.
Yeah, basically. And so I'd like to kind of take this through the different percentiles or 10 percentiles.
Okay.
Up to 200%.
All the way up to 200%, just because.
So what they can achieve at 110%.
Yeah. So the first thing I've
This
got
is
here.
just science fiction now, isn't it?
Well, no, actually, we all know that when a brain reaches 110% capacity, it's telepathy.
Right.
We can all read each other's minds.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Ricky Gervais can now go around and read everybody's minds.
Sure.
How would that go?
So is he a new being who's been created from these two characters?
He's got both their memories.
Okay. But he's
He's got all the expertise of Morgan Freeman and all his sort of brain stuff, and he's got Scarlett Johansson's street smarts.
Okay.
Well, street unsmarts. She gets handcuffed to a briefcase.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, basically, I want to go through each 10 and just come up with a different, basically, superpower.
Are we? Yeah. So we're kind of saying that because it's a new body, they have to rediscover these new superpowers.
That are new to us as well. They're not in the first 100%. So, like,
Okay, right.
because Scarlett Johansson doesn't have telepathy in the first film, does she?
No. Well, maybe.
I don't know what
She goes into Chang's brain.
Oh, yeah.
Mind melding.
Mind melding's not telepathy, sure. Okay.
Let's define.
Okay. It's contact free. She doesn't need to touch someone's head.
Okay.
I see.
Which is a big difference. You can just walk by someone on the street and read their mind. Or if you touch somebody's head, they'll probably notice.
So have Lucy and Morgan Freeman, have they functionally ceased to exist as individuals now?
They've combined as individuals.
Okay.
So it goes on to telepathy. I've got a few other ideas here
Okay.
of later percentages, all the way up to 160, unless you want to throw in any of those. Knowledge of the future.
Sure.
Oh yes, that's good. Yeah, because she didn't.
Because,
she
like-
didn't go in.
No,
the
she didn't.
She didn't go in the future. Did she?
Yeah.
I pointed behind me for some reason.
Yeah, so like
Okay, that's good,
she's gone into the past before, so yeah. I'd say that a later percentage actual time travel to the future.
Yeah.
So not just like knowing what's going to happen, but actually going there, seeing it, interacting with it a little bit.
No, well, I was just thinking. What I like about this is, so you've got these two super powerful beings who are all about sharing of knowledge. You've got a woman and a black man who are both like maybe, and they've combined and created a basic white guy.
Middle-aged white man.
I love coming back to just Ricky Gervais.
Like, what if he uses all of the power in the world for utterly mundane things?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
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 So he uses his knowledge of telepathy, for example, just to like become a TV psychic and just to scam people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make some money.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just money melding schemes. He does nothing good for the universe.
Yeah, great knowledge of the future. Maybe he invests in Apple or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe like yours, you can like link all like Ricky Gervais films together as well. So like the invention of lying.
I was thinking the invention
when
of lying
he goes to like
somehow,
the bank and he tells me like, no, I've actually got this much money in my bank account. He can like make do that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Definitely.
Yeah. I've also got mind control as a later percentage thing, like that's beyond telepathy, of course.
Sure.
he could create things as well. I guess
That was my
Lucy
next one.
doesn't- Oh right, there you go.
Created
Yeah.
create life. Like he can just create a new being.
Oh yeah, he could create a new animal.
Like I was more thinking like a little mini Ricky Gervais, but
I was thinking he could make like a unicorn and like.
A unicorn with the face of Ricky Gervais. Yeah.
oh no!
And imagine that he's created a whole ecosystem where all the flowers are his face and all the horses, every animal is his face. Yeah,
I love it.
He is God. He has become God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, I guess he resurrects all the people that Lucy killed in the first film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Also, because Ricky Gervais in real life is a very outspoken atheist, so making him a god would be quite ironic. I think. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe he has to deal with that. Like, I can't believe him.
Coming to terms with the fact he's now like all
He is
powerful.
in fact a deity. The one thing he rails against.
He starts his own religion.
Yes, well, he becomes the focal point of his own religion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also like to say that he can change like history as well. So that he doesn't start his own religion. He just suddenly has his own religion.
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
he has Christianity. That's him. It's now Gervaisity.
Does he? Does he have like competing religions? Again, I'm not saying that religions compete against each other, but
I'd say that he does, though. He owns all of them.
Yeah.
Basically.
Maybe-
they're
like-
all just different versions.
Yeah, well, maybe
of
he
it.
try- he keeps trying.
Like, don't go to the bad one. Go to the good one.
Right.
But like either way, he's winning.
He's winning.
He's getting the cash.
Maybe he keeps trying, but because he's not a very good god, he is all powerful, but he's not very good at being all powerful. So he creates all these religions that end up falling out over like very minor, you know, much like real religions. They go into have these horrible wars over interpretations of his words, but they're just really like, you know. His favorite food is mac and cheese. No, his favorite food is pizza. Let's kill each other. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the mac and cheeses.
Yeah, just make it
Mac
really...
and cheese versus pizza. Age-old debate.
How many have died?
World War III was a nightmare.
Yeah. And maybe he like sends at a certain point. Maybe this is the thing. He creates an entire universe in his image out of his godlike powers, and then maybe it all goes to shit. So there's all this war and famine. So he decides the only thing to do is to send a human emissary.
Yeah.
His own son. One might say.
Oh god.
So like yeah.
Okay. Okay.
A Gervais-esque
Jesus Gervais.
figure, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And is
Jesus
that
Gervais.
Jesus figure going to be Stephen Merchant?
Yeah, that probably makes sense. Yeah.
I hope they listen one day. I hope they hear this. Like,
Yeah, great. I don't really know where to go from here. We've
don't
really
think
gone
you- I
somewhere.
think you've
This
really done one, yeah.
This is Lucy 2.0.
Yeah, it's gone a long way from the original source
the
material.
the Gervais Chronicles.
Yeah. We could just call it Ricky.
Ricky. Yeah, there you go. Ricky. Perfect.
Yeah,
Lucy
just-
then Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just his face superimposed on the poster. Yeah.
Oh, it's just that Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman merged together are Ricky Gervais. Oh, great.
Oh, that was good. And is that 100%? He's just
That's
basically
200%.
200. Sorry, 200%. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just doubled life.
Yeah.
That's all he's done. He's doubled life. It's quite deep, that actually. Yeah.
And there's obvious sequel ideas here where you could just be like, well, he gets a third person in. What would it be if Ricky Gervais merged with Beyonce? What would happen then?
And they just get progressively more crap.
300% now.
What's that guy called? He's on oh gosh. He was on the latest you can edit this bit out. He was on the latest Jungle not Jungle Run. Jumanji.
Kevin Hart?
Not Kevin Hart. The old guy.
Danny DeVito.
Oh.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
There you go. I feel like that's Ricky Gervais 2.0.
Oh yes.
Yeah, sure. No, he is a mess of humanity.
Cool.
Yeah, great. Okay,
very
so that was Lucy 2.0, I guess.
Yeah.
That really
It
went
took
some
a long
places.
road, but
Brilliant.
okay. Should we get to some listener submissions, Harry?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
What
Well,
have
I've
you
got a fair few here.
Cool.
Anthony Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. You do this every time. It's Villeneuve. It's a French name.
God damn it, Anthony. Spell your name right.
I think he is.
Does he live in the city of France by any chance?
Probably does. Yeah. Bloody city of French people. He's just pitched 2C.
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Yeah.
2C, yeah.
Tony Eels has said Lucy 2, My Life as a Thumb Drive.
Very good.
Marcus Davis Oram says Lucy 2, this one might be good. Oh, hang on, Scarlett Johansson still a charisma vacuum. the movie.
Burn on Scarlet Johansson.
Wow.
Clearly not a fan of the shoe verse.
Colin Spenrath says, what if Scarjo was a flash drive, but also a goose?
Oh my god.
She can access all of the percentage of her brain and all the abilities of a goose, mostly flying and laying eggs. Scarlett Johansson is Lucy again in Lucy Goosey.
I feel like that's going to be coming up a lot.
Yeah. Jamie Absalom says, doesn't she end up as a computer at the end? Could there be some crossover with the Tron universe, where Lucy takes full control of the game and Tron has to defeat her? Trucy Lugacy.
That's
Tron Legacy.
Yeah. It took me a little while there. Okay. Didn't quite fit. But...
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant. Rob Robinson, that sounds made up, says, to Lucy, to Goosey. A goose gets hold of the thingy, wasn't it drugs or something? I don't know. And becomes a super genius goose. And oh boy, you don't want to miss what happens next. Unfortunately, that's all they've written, so I guess we will miss what happens next.
I have some as well. We did have more of the goose stuff, but I'll skip most of them. Jed Jong said, the next step of human evolution is waterfowl in Lucy Goosey.
Nice.
Stuart Jipp said, Lucy Juicy, D-E-U-X-Y, French juicy. Yeah. Tom McVeigh said 2C. This one I like. Curtis Hassenflug said, now Lucy me, now you don't.
Oh!
Very good. Very good.
Jeremy Reisk said, we already have the sequel. She became that sentient tar pit in the first season of Star Trek The Next Generation.
No. She killed Tasha Yar.
The next comment underneath in big letters is, Lucy killed Tasha Yar. The unforgivable sin, clearly. Yeah.
Wow.
That
was a weird episode.
Yes, we'll agree with you. Never watched it. Yeah.
Wow, John has out-nerded you.
There you go.
And finally, Scott Hillman has come up with somewhat of a lengthy idea. So, Lucy wakes up the next day, and it seems as if nothing has happened. She's a young woman again, just trying to make the best of her life in Taiwan. But she gets flashes of memories of what happened before. So, like, she thinks it's a dream, or she doesn't really remember anything that's happened, but she just keeps getting occasional flashes. And so it starts to kind of unravel her a little bit. And she starts to suspect that she's not really using the full capacity of her brain. And it just turns into this kind of strange Matrixy kind of thing where she's kind of doesn't know whether is she dreaming or is she actually in the real world? You know, what's real, what's not? You know, and so then it's like, is she actually, was it all a dream, or is this the dream now? Is she back in, like, is she literally in the Matrix at this point? You know, did she go too far? So
okay, yeah,
that's kind of where that went.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
so it's like is it real or is it reality or not? And maybe Morgan Freeman's like the Lauren Fishburne. He kind of comes in and gives it the red pill or whatever. So, yeah. So thank you everybody for those sequel ideas. We ask for your listener submissions every week, a few days before we record, by putting posts out on Facebook and Twitter where you can post your ideas. So make sure you like and follow our pages if you don't want to miss out. To listen to more episodes of Beyond the Box Set, you can subscribe and browse our back catalogue on any podcasting platform, including iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and many others. And you can also leave us a 5-star review if you wish, which really helps us out. And also, as mentioned before, we're also available on Patreon, which is exclusively for the people who would leave us 5 stars or more if they could. Find all the links to those in the descriptions below or at beyondtheboxset.com. So thank you guys, Joe and Jonas. Thanks for coming in and bringing this fantastic film to us.
Sorry, it's Jonah.
Joe and Jonah. Did I say you keep saying Jonas? I'm sorry.
It's alright. I used to work with a guy for 3 months and every day he called me Jonas every time.
I'm sorry, Jonas singular.
Don't worry, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks, Joe and Jonah. Singular. Do you want to just have one quick more plug of your podcast while you're here?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So like Joe said earlier, we're from How to Survive Your 20s podcast, and you can find us on all the usual stuff you said, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts as well, right?
Podbean,
wherever
you get your podcasts.
Yes, we're there. Yeah, don't worry about us, yeah.
You can find us on Instagram at HTSY20S. You can find us on Twitter at HYour20s. You can always email us as well at HTSY20s@gmail.com.
Great stuff, and we're about to record a little guest spot on that show, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Harry, it's my choice this next week. Yeah. Oh, look at you already dreading it. Look, the world's in a pretty bad shape right now. There's a lot going on, you know. There's a lot of misery.
Are you doing Outbreak?
No, no. We could do Outbreak. We could do Contagion. No, come on, it's a bit close to the bone. I don't want to do that. I want a bit of escapism. I want a bit of fun. So I just thought, let's just do a fun, frivolous film. So next week, Harry, we are going to do a classic movie known as.
Hey everybody, quick editor's note here. We changed our mind after recording the episode, and so now we are actually going to do Contagion. So hopefully that's not going to be totally inappropriate. We'll just have to wait and see. Who knows?
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, Harry. And join us next week for
Contagion.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Oh, bye.
Rest assured, we didn't harvest your organs or anything. We merely slipped a little package into your lower tummy.